are the top 10 advertising color psychology. And when you understand how people think psychologically from a color perspective, there's certain colors you can use that can make your brand convey certain messages without it having to come out of your mouth. And that's really what's important and why we're covering it in this video, because we're really looking at how are you going to attract people with these colors, with the color psychology, and how can you use that to enhance your videos, to enhance the images that we use inside the advertisements. And you pay attention to these small things, you'll wonder why, damn, I'm getting a little bit more attention. I'm getting a little bit more people being interested. And for the people who don't do this, you can still do okay, but you want to make sure that you're paying attention to every little advantage. And this is what I learned from the people that are the most successful in the world in business, is that every single advantage that they can get, they leverage it. They don't leave breadcrumbs around. If I can get it, if I can leverage it, if it's gonna help, add it. If it's gonna help, add it. If it's gonna help, add it. And it's just, these are one of those things that it can help. So why not add it, and why not understand it? All right. And I didn't pay attention to this as much before, especially early on in my career. But the more that I learn and the more that I retain, this is one of those things that I add as part of my arsenal. And I remember early on, one of my coaches said, they said, Terrell, when you're teaching and when you're training people, don't give everybody everything at once, because you're going to throw an encyclopedia at them, and it's going to be so much information that it's going to be overwhelming. I got my little guy here. You okay? All right. So it's going to be so overwhelming that you're going to make it hard for people to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to feed them every so often, and until they grow their competency. So this is one of those things that is not necessarily the first thing you go to, but after the dust settles on the core things you want to pay attention to, okay, let's look at the colors. So that's what we're going to be focused on today. All right, y'all excited? All right, so let's make it happen. And remember that this is our recharging your business session. We do this every single day at 12:30, and we here, and this is growing your business in different aspects. So let's get it going. So I'm gonna give you 10 colors. What are the top 10 colors that really invoke emotion and that really affects the psychology of your advertisements and of your marketing? All right, so let's go through the first one. So number one, first one, we see this all the time, and you ever wonder why? And that is the color red. The color red. So what do the color red do? Think about, where do we see the color red at? We see it in stop signs, red lights. We see it anytime somebody's trying to make you feel excited. We see it, those stop signs in lights. What is that? That's like urgency, right? It's like danger. So think about it as bold. Think about it as danger. Think about it as, depending on the context and the scenario, right? Think about it as excitement. Think about the brands that have red, and how does it make you feel, right? So red is definitely one of those colors that stand out. And it gives you like a sense of urgency. Think about every time, and I do this in my advertisements too. I do that in my marketing. I do it on my landing pages. If I have something that's counting down, or you've seen it before too, you see something counting down, or if you see like a sale about to go away, you ever wonder why it's not like a color like green? You ever wonder why people always use red when it's like a sense of urgency, or you're about to miss out, or it's a limited bonus or limited time? You ever wonder why it's always red? The banners, the signs is always red. Going out of business is always red. Discount is about to be over. This thing expires. It's always in red. That's why. All right. So pay attention to that. So red, you're going to use it for those type of things. What are we going to use blue for? What does blue stand for? Blue stands for trust, reliability, security, right? When you see something blue, it's like calming, it's like chill. You know what I mean? These are psychological factors. And people, when they see blue, people tend to think of the ocean. People tend to think of the sky. It's like relaxation, right? That's why if you see anything in regards to calming, blue, like, you got Facebook that has blue. You have a lot of different things that's blue. But if you ever think about anything that's relaxation, calming, a lot of times, if the business or the company is thinking about the color psychology, they're using blue as a way to get your trust, to get your reliability. You know what I mean? That's why if you think about it, there's like in regards to tech companies, there's a lot of tech companies that have blue in it because sometimes people get intimidated by technology, or they're like, well, can I trust this technology? Are they going to take my credit card information? Are they going to? So they use colors like blue to make you feel like, listen, we got you. This is secure. You can trust us. You can rely on us. Now you see the color psychology, all right? So that's second. That's blue. Yellow. Yellow is usually associated with like happiness. It's like like optimism, youth. So when you see yellow, think about the brands that have yellow in it. Usually, is you look at it from a positivity standpoint. You look at it from a success from a usually yellow is associated with things that are younger, things that are new, things that are youthful. Think about the sun, right? How does the sun make you feel? It makes you feel like, man, I got a chance. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel positive. It makes you feel like I know I love the sun. I love sunlight. You know what I mean? And that's what it makes, and that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I have a chance. It doesn't make me feel like I'm at the end of my life. It makes me feel like I'm at the beginning of my life. When I see yellow, when I feel like something is sunny, when I feel like something is bright, I see positivity. I see optimism. I see that there's a chance for the future. So you might want to look at adding some yellow if that is the type of messages you want your brand to portray. We got green. Green is nature, growth. Um, um, it's health, right? So we know this. This is like one of the core things we know, right? Anytime you see like green juices, or you see certain brands and things that are organic, we see this all the time, right? Especially organic foods. A lot of those is green. I can't tell you exact percentage, but I could probably say somewhere along the lines of probably 70% of organic products and services is probably have some taste of green in it, or some hint of green in it, right? And that's what it is. It's health, but it's also growth. It's development. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one of my core brand colors is green, right? I always have teal, so we have a little, so teal has a little bit of little tiny hint of blue in it, but it's mostly green. And if you can tell, what are even the messages that I talk about a lot? I talk about growth. I talk about productivity. I talk about what's my tagline? If you follow me on Facebook, what is a tagline that I use after every one of my blog posts? So every morning I do a blog post at the time we're doing this training right now, right? What do you see as the last line, which is my tagline, our tagline? What do you see? I say, slow motion is better than no motion. Think about that. What does that mean? Slow motion is better than no motion. What am I encouraging people to do? I'm encouraging people to move. I'm encouraging people to grow. I'm saying, yo, make progress. I'm saying move forward. I'm saying don't stay still. Keep going. Keep moving. Keep taking steps forward. What does that mean? That's growth. What does growth go back to in the color psychology? Green. You feel what I'm saying? These are slight messages, but these are things that, every event is that you can get. You want to make sure that you get on your side. Where are we at? Number 5 is orange. Orange is energy, enthusiasm, creativity. So if you want to add those type of messages, why don't you talk about that, right? You want that enthusiasm, you want that energy, that you want people to feel, depends on how you want your brand to feel. Most people don't think about that. They think about what they want to teach or what they want people to have or the value, but they don't think about the feeling of it. There's a difference between people getting things and value that they can see, or they can say, okay, this is what I got. But how do they feel though? See, anytime I'm coaching or I'm helping clients, whether it's the agency or whether it's on the business coaching and consulting side of it, or whether I'm doing public speaking, I'm not just thinking about what they need. I'm not just thinking about what they need to know intellectually. I'm also thinking about anybody I'm working with that tell you this. I'm also thinking about how do I want them to feel? How do I want them to feel at the end of the conversation? How do I want them to feel at the end of the discussion? How do I want them to feel at the end of the coaching session? How do I want them to feel? And if you're focused on certain feelings like enthusiasm and energy, and you want people to get off of a call, or you want people to leave your product or your service with more excitement and enthusiasm than they had before they consumed it, you might want to think about using orange. Number 6, we know this. What do you think purple is? Purple is luxury, sophistication, right? If you want to have that feel of I don't know if you rich, higher class, they said, sophistication, luxury, expensive. Purple is might be a good way to go for you. You know what I mean? Anytime I think of purple, if I think of like a purple like fabric, I'm thinking like silk, right? Like a silk purple fabric, right? But that's important. So if you want your brand to represent that, look at having some colors that's related to that. All right, make sense? All right, there we go. Hey Jay, you okay? All right. So so that's number 6. So number 7 is pink. All right. So what is pink? Pink is associated with femininity, romance, sweetness, right? So if you want anything around romance, you want anything around you want your brand to feel more feminine, right? Maybe you have a brand that you want your target audience is women. Then if your core target audience is women, you might want to look at adding some elements of pink in it. It may not necessarily be the dominant, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be normal pink. You have different shades of pink, right? So, but think about what are some elements of pink that you can include to make it more feminine, to make it more romantic, if that's what your brand is or that's what you want to include as part of your brand. You got number 8. Oh, it's 8. We know what 8 is. 8, black. What does black convey? Power. What does black convey? A sense of elegance, a sense of authority, right? When you see black, you see all black everything, right? Power, authority, like this. If you want to convey that, add some elements of black in your brand, right? You want people to feel powerful. You want people to feel like they're on top of the world. You want people to feel like they can do anything. You want people to feel like they're unstoppable. You want people to feel like anything you put your mind to, you can do or you can have. And I want you to come into this world with power. I want you to know nothing can hold you back. No thing, no person, no problem could ever hold you back. Think about creating as part of your brand black, or when you're creating logos, or when you're creating different elements as part of your brand. If power is a big thing, you might want to look at adding black. Okay, this is the advertising color psychology. These are the things that you don't have to directly tell somebody. Just from the colors you use already communicates non-verbally to people. Number 9, I think a lot of us know this too. Now 9 is white. What does white represent? Purity, cleanliness, simplicity, right? If you see somebody with all white on, typically you kind of think, hey, you know what, that brother, that sister look clean, right? It represents a cleaner look. That's why white is like the default of a lot of web pages, landing pages. People use white in their messaging. It's simple. You want people, you don't want people to feel complicated. You don't want, anytime you're working with people and you're in business, you don't want people to feel like it's complicated, like it's too much, like it's clunky, like it's confusing. So white is just a good way to kind of make people feel like, oh, okay, like it's clean, like it's very simple. I can do it. And so add some elements of white in what you do and be surprised how much people just how they look at you in a different light, in a better light. And then, and there's also purity too, right? I mean, there's a lot of biblical references to that, but just purity, people, that comes along with the trust, and you have pure intentions. All right. And then 10, which is last but not least, is earthliness, reliability, and warmth. Earthliness, reliability, and warmth. Okay. So if you use brown, what is earthly? What is warm? Warmth is, I want you to feel welcome. I want you to feel comfortable. You know what I mean? I want you to rely on me. I want you to be reliable. You feel what I'm saying? I want people to be able to trust you and feel comfortable with you. So if that is the messages that you want to convey as part of your brand, then maybe add some elements of you could use brown. So a lot of these are around the values that you hold true. A lot of these are whether it's core values for yourself, or whether it's you've created a brand that you really want people to embrace and embody, then you'll say, okay, well, what are the values of this brand? Okay, well, based on these values, okay, well, what are the colors that are associated with it? And it might not be the exact words or languages that I use today, or the language that I use today, but think about it. If it's, it may not be power, but you say, you know what, strength. Well, strength is a form of power, right? So then if strength is a form of power, you might want to look at adding black as part of your color scheme when you're running your advertisements, or when you're doing it. It doesn't have to be necessarily your logo, but it could be the feeling you're trying to portray in this ad, the feeling you're trying to portray in this video, the feeling you're trying to portray in the image. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how you can leverage this stuff to run successful advertisements. Is that helpful? Hopefully that was helpful, and you learned a lot about the color psychology today and how you can use it in your marketing and your advertising efforts. With that being said, I'll kind of give you a few things. You want to say hi? All right, say hi. Say hi real quick. Just say hi. All right. Daddy, all right, go play, okay? I'm going to come see you shortly. I see the Hulk. Huh? I see the Hulk. I think everybody sees the Hulk. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. All right, I'm going to come over there in a minute, okay? No, everybody see the Hulk. Everybody see the Hulk? Yes. Yeah. All right. Everybody see Hulk. Okay, that's Black Panther. All right. All right, play with this. I'm going to go over there with you in a second, okay? So that's what we focused on, all right? So go ahead and use this stuff in your advertisement. So a couple things. One, I'm going to give you two things that you can do. Number one, if you want to run your own. Hey, Jay, can you go over there, please, and play? Thank you. So 2 things we could do in our advertisements. Number one is if you want to try to run your own advertisements and do this stuff yourself, I created a 1-page cheat sheet that gives you the strategy on how we run paid ads for our agency. So I'll just give that to you. So if you want it, you could comment cheat sheet or shoot me a DM that says cheat sheet. Second thing you can do is if you say, yo, I love it, I want to implement it. However, I want to look at seeing what does it look like for your agency to run our ads, because maybe you don't have the time, you don't have the energy, you don't have the skill set, whatever your reasoning is, you like, I just want to leave it up to your agency to do. That's cool. We can have a conversation about it first. Right? We don't just bring people on as clients. I got to make sure you're a good fit. So if you want to have a conversation about it, then go ahead and put Facebook ads below or shoot me a DM that says Facebook ads and we can have that conversation. All right. With that being said, I appreciate you all. Continue to be great and keep learning. We do this every day. We just found different ways to help you be able to grow and build your business. All right. So continue to be great. I would love to see you on another in-person training, maybe a webinar that we do, or maybe a live event that we do. So stay tuned and, just continue to work. You know what I mean? And if this is helpful to you, share it. Share it out with somebody who needs to learn more about marketing and advertising. Share it with somebody who's trying to get the word out about what they do. Share it with somebody that struggling. Don't be selfish. It's selfish if you hear, you learn, and you watching this, you're like, yo, this is dope, or I didn't know about this, I didn't know about that. But you hoarding all of the information to yourself. I'm putting this out to help as many people as possible, right? So if you see this and you feel like this is valuable to you, share it with other people. Give, and you'd be surprised at what you get back in return. A lot of people may not be getting back things in life that they getting the things they want in life is because they're not putting out any seeds into the world. Keep throwing seeds. I'm always throwing seeds. I'm always seeing how I can bless somebody, how I can help, how I can give, how I can share something. And then, I just continue to get blessed. So you could do the same thing. So get this out to as many people as possible. All right. Continue to be great. And I'll see you on the next training. Let's work.